is myself. Okay. Hello there. Okay. Fine. Very good afternoon to everyone. So this is myself, Sadiq. So I'm into teaching almost from more than 2 decades. So I have conducted even the previous session on Excel also, on creating a pivot tables in the dashboards. Fine. So today's session, we will mainly talk about the reference functions. Okay. I hope everybody are familiar with Excel. Can I just get a confirm? Okay. So I'm just sharing my screen. Yeah, that's good to see. Like, almost we have many people with who is comfortable with Excel. Chalo. Uh, so now let us start off with the reference functions. So generally, when I talk about a reference functions are mainly used to refer, okay, to the data. So it may be from a table to another table or anything. So we mainly have this particular VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. Okay, these are functions mainly used for the reference purpose. But apart from that, in Excel 365, there is an introduction to XLOOKUP also. Yeah, we'll try to understand with this particular functions. Okay, so to start off with, we'll start off with this particular concept of VLOOKUP. Okay, um, so we have just started the session, so I'll not look into the chat for some time. Yeah, the team will take care of that. Sure. See, yeah. So now let us go with this particular lookup function. So why do we need this particular lookup functions and what we can do with the lookup functions? We'll look into those particular things. Now, I just have this particular data over here. So I just have the data over here. So when you look into this, so we have some employee details here. So we have an employee ID, first name, gender, okay, some details of the employees. And we have a department to which department the employee works. Okay. And then we do also have a department table here. So it says which department ID and the name of the department. Now in the employees table, so when you look into this, we just have a department ID. We just have the department ID. So department ID 10, we have employees working for 20, 30, 40, 50 respectively. So now what I want is I just want to get the department name in the employees table. Now the department details are over here in this particular table. So I have to read from here. Okay. So how do we do this particular thing? So we'll look into this. So since I want to get the department name, so I'll just say, so I have to get the department name. Generally, how do we get the department name? So since I have to get the name, so I just need to link something like this. Take this particular department ID, link to this department ID, okay, and then get the corresponding name. Like example, this employee is working for department 10 means he is working for retail department. So when I say this employee is working for department 40, so that means he is working for the healthcare department. So that has to be placed over here respectively. Okay, so that means it has to look for the department ID in this particular table, okay, and then get the corresponding department name and place it over here. That is what exactly we want to do now. So that is where exactly we use this particular lookup functions. Now, since I have to look for the data vertically, okay, so the department IDs are there, next to the department names are there, and this particular data is being referred vertically. We are searching for the data vertically. So we'll use a VLOOKUP function. Okay, so let me just write a simple VLOOKUP here. So I just say is equal to VLOOKUP function. So I just say VLOOKUP, then I just say lookup value. What are you looking for? I'm looking for the department ID. I'm looking for this department ID. Now, where are you going to look for this? So I'm going to look for this department ID in this particular table. Okay. So the first parameter is the lookup value, what value we are looking. The second parameter is the table array. Where are you looking? I'm looking in this table. Fine. Comma. That is the second parameter. So that means it takes four parameters. The first parameter is the lookup value. What are you looking? Second parameter is the table array. Where are you looking? I'm looking for the data in this table. Fine. Comma. Now, so that means it is going to look for the department ID in this particular table. Cool. Now, if it finds, so that means the department ID should be the first column of the table array. Fine. And if the match has been found, so it goes and checks here, D10 is there. Yes, it is there. If it is found, what is that you have to return? You have to return the department name, which is in which column index position. This is my first column and this is my second column. So that means the third parameter is what? So when you see here, the third parameter is the column index. Which column index value you want to return? So I want to return the value of the second column. I'll just say that the column index is 2, comma. How you want to match? See, it has to look for the exact value D10. If the D10 is not there, let it say it's not available. Let us not go with the appropriate match. So that means I have to look for the exact match. So I'll just select the fourth parameter is exact match. So when I just say this, that's it. You enter. So it says D10 is your retail department. Now, I want this to be applied for throughout the table. I want this to be applied for throughout the table. I want this to be applied throughout the table. If this has to be applied for throughout the table, so what is that I need to do is, see, if I just drag, I'm just getting as hash any. The reason is, okay, this kind of reference what is there is your relative reference. Sorry, yeah, it's the relative reference. So that means when you drag this particular thing, your table reference is changing. So we want the lookup value to change, but the table reference should not change. It should be fixed. I want this to be fixed. So for that, what I do, the table array, what is there, I'll make this as absolute reference. How do we make it as an absolute reference? How do we make it as an absolute reference? How do you make it as absolute reference? Prefix a dollar sign. I just select this. I'll use a shortcut key as F4. Fine. I press enter. So now we can see this table. Okay, I have made as absolute, whereas J3 is relative. That means this reference has to change, but this table reference has to be fixed. We don't want this to changing. Okay, fine. That's it. Now you just drag the formula. We can see it gets the corresponding department name respectively. Clear? Yeah, dollar sign F4. Last parameter is how you want to match. Okay, how you want to match. So here, the false means it is for the exact match. So we have to look for the exact match. So I'll just say it as false. Since, I don't want to say if D10 is not there, so D12 is there or D20 is there, I don't want to go for a closest match. So it has to look for the exact match. If the exact matching value is not there, let it say it's not there. Okay. But let us not give some kind of a appropriate value. So I want to go for the exact match. So there are two options. By default is appropriate match, but most of the cases we'll be using a exact match. So if it is exact match, we say false. So true is appropriate match. Shortcut for dollar sign is F4. Okay, fine. We got this. So this is one, if we take true. The true is going to be appropriate match, Sahir. I'll come with some examples. Okay, so I have a lot of things to cover. So I'll come out with those things, examples also. Fine. Means second column, yes. If zero, see, false can also be given as 0. True also can be as given as 1. So I did not use anything 0 here. Okay, Ranjesh. Batch run. I don't know. I hope it is clear to everyone. Got it. 0 false and 1 is true. Okay. Okay. The next thing is we'll see with more examples, some more examples. Okay. So let us go with that. Now, let us go with more example. Column index 2 is the second column. See, we are looking for a department ID. If the department ID matching is found, return the name of the department. So this is my first column and this is my second column. So the column index, we say it as 2. That's it. Okay, I know. It's confusing, is it? Okay. It should be changing all the other columns value. Okay, which it's mapped. Okay, I think I have to keep the chat aside. So this is just a webinar here. So I think, see, please try to understand. If you want, I can just repeat it. See, generally when I talk about a lookup, is for searching the data. So we have VLOOKUP means look for the data vertically. See, in what kind of circumstance we are using this is, so we have a department ID, but I have to get the name of the department. If I have to do that, so where are the names of the department is present in this particular table. Okay, so how you'll get the name is look for the matching department ID and then get the corresponding name. That is what we have to get in. So for that, it has to look for in this particular table. So the department ID. That means first lookup values look what is the actual department number. What is the actual department number in the same table, and then link it to the respective table and get the second column value. So fed the matching department number, and if the match has been found, get the value from the second column. It's that simple. Okay. So now the thing is, so let me write it once again. I'll just say is equal to we look. Okay. So lookup value. What are you looking? I'm looking for this. Where are you looking for this? I'm looking for this in this table array. So that means it takes 4 parameters. The first parameter is the lookup value. Second parameter is the table array. Where are you looking? The third parameter is column index. So if the matching department number is found, what column index say we have to return a value. We have to return the value from the second column. Okay. So I say, please return the value from the second column and how you want to match. It has to look for the exact. That's it. Okay. Fine. So now if you're dragging, we want this table reference to be absolute. So what I do, I'll just select this table reference. I'll make this as absolute. Cool. Now you just drag, it just fills it. Okay. So that is what it is able to do. Now, this is fine. Now let us go with the another example here. So this is clear. The thing, simple. So now what happens is, so next is we will see with match function, what exactly a match and the index does. Okay. So we'll look for the match function and we'll look into the index function. Now, if I have to explain you about the match, what is the match function does? What a match function? F4 is the shortcut key to make it as an absolute reference. Okay. So let us talk about the match function. Now let us take the, so I just have some employee names. I just have the employee names. Now let me do one thing is, I'll just enter one employee name. So I'll just create one validation here. So you'll be learning in the course all this. Huh? So when you, I think so if most of you would have joined also, done this. So I'll just take a validations here list is equal to refer to this. Okay. Now I just have an employee name here. So I just have the name of the employee. Let me show with the different color here. Okay. Now, if I select an employee name here, so what I want is, I want the position where it is present. I want to know the position where exactly this is present. I just want to know the position. To get the position, we use the match function. For that, we use the match function. So we are going to use the match function. What a match function will do? Match function will just get the position of a particular value in an array. So now Just take an example. I just have this particular Karen Novak. That is one of the employee name available here. I just want to know in which position it is present. So what I'll do, I'll use a match function. Match. What are you looking for? I'm looking for this value. Fine. Now, where are you looking? Next is the lookup array. Where are you looking? I'm looking for this over here in this particular table array. That is in this lookup array. Okay, we are using three parameters here. The first parameter is lookup array, lookup value, what value you're looking. Second parameter is a lookup array, where are you looking? And the third parameter is how are you looking? I'm looking for the exact match. Look for the exact name. Okay, if the name is not there, don't go with the relevant name or something. So if it's a spelling mistake or something, please tell it is not available. Okay, it is fine, but don't give somebody's data. Okay, that is what the match index exact means. So here I say 0. That's it. So you can see Karen is in the position 6. When you look into this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay. So if I just select some name here, say example, Cynthia, it says in 19th position. It is over here. Okay. So if I just say example, say David, it's in the 9th place. So when you look into this, David is in 9th place. Yes. Respectively. Okay. This is what is your match function does. Understood what a match function does? Match function gets me the position of a particular value in the table array. Now, what is the use of this? See, otherwise, it just gives me, by writing such a long formula and things, I'm just getting one small thing that is just giving me a value. Now, this says like, it says in which position it is present. It just tells me in which position it is present. That's it. Nothing else. Now, what is the use of this? So I'll tell you. Okay, thanks. Now let us take an example here. I just have this particular data. I just have this particular employee data. This validation, please repeat this validation formula. See, I'm not teaching the validation formula. You can even type. It's like, if you have not worked on the validation, no problem. You can just type. If I just say Roy Collins, okay, fine. That's it. It just gives me the data. For validations, I hope you know that it's under the data tab. Okay, we have a data validations list and just refer to that values. That's it. See, here main objective is today we are talking about the reference functions because we just have around 60 minutes time. Okay, well, concentrate on that because we have a lot of things to learn in this. Validations, so I just made it simple because, I can say in real time, the questions will be like, there'll be a drop down, select from there and you want to get the position kind of things. But otherwise, it's not a mandatory or, okay, irrelevant kind of things comes in here. So you just type the value and you will get the values. Okay, hope you're able to understand, is it? Okay. If you really want it, no problems. I have no issues. Okay. Just go to the validations, select as list list, and just select the validations here. Okay. So just select the data range. That's it. So it'll automatically create a data list and we can just see it comes. Okay. Fine. Fine. See now, what is the use of this particular match function is. Now let us take an example. If I give an employee number, I just want to know what is his salary. If I provide an employee number, I want to know what is his salary. Let me write the formula here. So I'll just say I'll ask the user to type the employee ID and I just want the salary as the output. That is what I wanted now. Now, if I say employee ID as E052, that is one of the employee ID. So if I give that, I should know what is the salary. So what is that I will do? I'll just say is equal to lookup value. First is a lookup value. What are you looking for? I'm looking for this value. Okay. So that is the value which is there in this cell O12. Okay. Now, comma. The second parameter is the table array. Where are you looking for this? Hey, I'm looking for this in this table, in this particular table. I need to select the table. Fine. Okay, that is the second parameter, the table array. The third parameter is the column index. What is the column index? What are you looking here? I'm looking for salary. Based on the employee ID, I'm looking for salary. Salary is in which column? This is my first column, second column, third column, fourth column. This is my fifth column. This is my sixth column, seventh column, eighth column. So that means the eighth column is the salary here. So I have to count like this and I have to say, it says return the value from the eighth. That means Look for the employee ID here. If the employee ID is found, return the value from the eighth column. So eighth column is this. So it return the value from the salary. Fine. Come on. How you want to match? It has to look for the exact match. So that's it. Enter. Fine. You're able to get this. So you can see E052. Where is E052? Yes. Okay. And what is the salary of this? 5,500. Perfectly right. Okay. Yes, lookup means in the case of VLOOKUP, the lookup value should be always the first column of the table array. Yes. Yes, Shubham. Okay. Now, the thing comes here is, okay, this is okay. See, generally, I handle a lot of corporates, guys. I am almost from more than 2 decades into the corporates. Okay. So, and we keep getting a lot of questions and things. I love handling the questions and things. Now, the thing comes is, what if you add some column here? Say, example, before the employee name, I'm just adding a title here. So, title of courtesy. Okay. So, Mr., Miss, or whatever it is. As soon as you add this, what happens here is, you can see here the salary has changed to North America. What exactly has happened? I just added one column in the table. So now the salary which was in the I column is been shifted to J column. Because before it was in eighth position, now if you count, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One column is shifted. So from here it is shifted to there. So that means in your formula, we are supposed to write here as 9. Instead of 8, I'm supposed to write this as 9. This is one thing. So this is one challenges thing, what we have to do in the case of VLOOKUP. The second thing is, see, here we have around 10 columns, 10, 12 columns is fine. But what if a table of 70, 80 columns are there and you have to look for the column in the 72nd position and you have to count and then you have to get the position? How difficult it is. You have to manually count. It becomes a very difficult work. And when you manually count, you might go wrong also. Okay. And second thing is, like, you've done with so much of a difficulty of counting everything, you've done it, but small changes to your source data, whole formulas are going wrong. Whole formulas are going wrong. That is really, very upsetting here. So you can see you have done everything, the formulas were going wrong. So in this kind of a situation, your match will be very useful. So with the help of the match, you don't have to manually count. We just tell a function, please look the position where the salary is there. Give me the position. That's it, simple. Okay. So how do we get the position of salary in this particular headings? If I have to get the position of the salary in this headings, I can just write like this. I say match. What is that you're looking? I'm looking for this. Where? I'm looking in this headings. Okay. And then how you want to match? It has to look for the exact match. So you can see here, it says in 8th position, you add some kind of a column here. And you can see it automatically shifts to the 9th position. You add another column here. So you can see automatically shifts to 10th position. Okay, so formula is going something wrong here, but still, like you can see, or the position is coming correctly. So that means what I want in this one is, so instead of manually you writing like this, I just want this to be written with the help of this one. So that means with the help of the formula. Okay, so what I will do here is, in the place of writing this particular fixed position of 8 or 9 and things, I will try to write a match formula inside this. What I do, instead of 9, so which is the column index, I'll use a match function. I'll say match. Hey, what are you looking for? I'm looking for this. Where are you looking? I'm looking for this in this particular table array. In this table array. Okay. How you want to look? Come up. The third parameter is look for the exact match. Just close the bracket and press enter. You can see. So I don't have to count that position and give. I can use the match function. Now, what is the advantage of this is you don't have to do the counting, so it will not go wrong. The second thing is you add some column, not 1 or 2. I say 3 columns I'm adding, but still you can see it is showing salary only. Because you're not given that static value of manually counting and writing, but I have written a formula here. So with the help of this particular match functions, what is that we are able to do is you're able to make your VLOOKUP more dynamic. Is it so? Yeah. Okay, this is the advantage of using the match function. Clear? So now match, otherwise, it's a very simple thing. You do a lot of hard work, and at the end of the day, it is just giving one small number here. It is just giving one small number, is it? So what is the use of this number? But this plays a very vital role. So when you're using in any function where you want a position, where you want an indexing to be used, so I can use a combination of that respective function with a match function to make that functions more dynamic. So that is what we get it over here. Okay, fine, clear. The next thing is, okay, this is about your match. Next is, we'll see with the index function. I know we have a short time here, so I'll try to explain one small example. Hey, what is index? Hey, generally I say index is two-dimensional search. The index is 2D search. See, like, in the case of lookup, you're searching in one dimension. You're just searching in the vertical. You use the HLOOKUP, you're searching in the horizontal. But here you can search in two dimensions. So let us see how do we perform those kind of a search. Okay. Now, just take an example. We just have the students here. And so they have, just we'll consider they are the students. Okay. So I'll not give this names, I'll just say they are my students. Fine. And we have a different test here. Test one, test two, three, and four. Okay. So we just have a different test here. And let me write some random numbers. Let me write it. I'm a lazy guy, I don't like manually writing the numbers. Okay. I just love those particular formulas and I do it. Okay. Yeah, don't try the shortcuts unless until you learn the shortcuts. But, you can type it. But, I'm a lazy guy, I always go with, I'm not audible. Is it with everyone? I'm audible, I think, clear. Yeah, fine. I think you need to check from the other side. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmations. Fine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. See, I've just written the same thing. I've just copied the names. I just have the different test here and I just have some numbers here. I've just randomly typed some numbers. Lazy guy, I don't like typing the numbers. So I've just used some formulas. Unless and until you know the formulas, don't do that. But, I use some formulas to randomize the number. That's it. Um, Now, let us do one thing here is, okay, what I want is, I'll just give a scenario here. I want to search in two dimension here. So we have an employee name, and I just also want to find the marks. Okay, so we have a test. Okay, so I'll just take this formatter, and I'll just try to take this formatting over here. But I'll just say this validation going to be either as a, okay, let us not get confused with this one, no? Test -1. See, now I just want to know what is the marks. So I just want to know what is the marks here. For the student, what is the marks? I just want to get the marks. So if I have to get the marks, what is that we are looking for? We are looking for this particular student in a particular test. That means first it has to look for this particular Dorothy Wilson. Where is it? Is it present over here? And you're looking for test one. So that means the marks is 37. So now instead of that, if I just say I'm looking for test 3 marks, how much he has scored. So I'll be passing two informations here, the employee name and the test. So if I say Dorothy Wilson in test 3, what is this marks he has scored? It has to look for in test 3. That means it has to look in two dimension here. So one is the test 3 and the second thing is it has to look for the name of the employee. So based on this, it has to fetch the value. It has to fetch the value. Okay, this is how we get the marks, is it? So now if I have to do this, if I have to do this one, so what is that I will do is, since I have to search in 2 dimension, I have to search the name as well as the test, and based on the both the indexes of the name and this one, I have to get the value. So that is the reason we use the index function here. So let us write the index function. Okay. Uh, Number is random. You can type anything, guys. You can type, just type the numbers. Just type something, blah, 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 blah. Some numbers, numbers, numbers. Okay, fine. So now, see, you don't have to type the exact number. You can type anything. I just wanted some random numbers. Okay, I'm very bad even in thinking and writing the number. I'm really so bad in those things. Okay, I just write the formulas there. So I'm really very sorry for those things. My memory, and I'm hardworking. No, is it? And things fine. So let us go with this. So I just want to get to know what is the marks. Okay. So let us see practically how do we solve this. Or I just look for any person here. So example, Katrina. Okay, Katrina Allen. So I have to know Katrina Allen in test 3, how much she has scored. So if I have to do this, so what is that I will do? I'll just use the index function, INDEX. Index is the function. So you want to again just increase the font of this, should be better for the better visibility. Cool, 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 cool. Fine. So I'll just use a function called as index. Okay. Now index has 3 parameters here. So that is, one is the array, the row number, and the column number. The array is, where are you looking? I'm looking at this data. Select the data. The second parameter is the row number. So in the row, we have the employee name. I'm looking for this employee name, Katrina Allen. So where is Katrina? This is row number 1, 2, 3. It is in the third row. Okay. So row number we want to provide, that is Katrina is present in the row number 3. Now, comma. Next is the column. What are you looking for? I'm looking for test 3. So this is my first column, second column, and this is my third column. Test 3 is in the column 3 again. I'll just say 3, comma 3. Close it. Yes. 32 is the marks of Katrina in test 3. Fine. So if I have to go for test 1, see if I change here at test 1, oh, the marks is not changing because we have manually counted and I have given the value. So now we are looking for test 1, which is my first column. So instead of 3, I'll just say 1. That's it. It says 38. Katrina in test 1 is 38. So if I say test 2, that is the second column, it is going to be 94. Rem-dom. Okay, fine. Understood with this. So this index is nothing but is a 2-dimensional search. We are searching in these rows as well as on the columns. Both the directions we are trying to fetch. Now again, what is happening is whenever you change this, I'm manually going and changing the formulas here. But you want this to be dynamic. So that means if I change the employee name, so it has to pick for that employee numbers. I don't have to manually again count and tell the number. Okay, if I change this particular thing, so test 4, I want this to automatically pick the 4th column and the respective row respectively. So in that case, what we do, instead of giving this static value, 3 and 4 counting and writing, so I'll use a match function. Match. What are you looking? I'm looking for this in the row position. Where are you looking? I'm looking for this in this particular table. And how are you looking? 3 parameters. Exact match. That's it. So now you can see William is 45. So if I change this, it is changing. But it has to look for the test also, is it? So row wise, it is not changing. So instead of giving a static value 2, I'll use a match again. Match. Hey, what are you looking? I'm looking for this. Hey, where are you looking? I'm looking for this in this particular headings. How you want to match? Look for the exact match. Right. That's it. And you can see here, if I say this is test 1, yes. Test 3, cool. Okay. And for a different student, changes respectively. So that means it is looking like where is Chad Wilson, and test 3 is 84. We did VLOOKUP with match, is it? Mr. Ramasubramanian, this one, Manian. We use the VLOOKUP with match, is it? I hope you were there. Okay, I'm using a match with the index function also. Yeah, I explained that also, no? Could you repeat the combined formula? See, I'll tell you a simple thing is, So I can repeat, but I just wanted to do XLOOKUP in today's session. But if I keep repeating, no, 1 hour will not be sufficient. Already 30 minutes is over. I suggest always is if you have not worked with the nesting of functions, please work the functions separately, individually, and then paste it. See, I just want to know the position of this chat. We wrote it over here. So I know one day you cannot become a master, but at least you have got an idea of it. The same thing, what I have done here is instead of you writing a manual, this one, so instead of manually you counting and then writing, I use a match function. M-A-T-C-H, match is a function. So where am I writing this match function? In the place of row number. So what is that you want to find? It has to dynamically look for the employee name. Match what? Comma. Where is this? Comma. How to match? Exactly. Close the bracket. So this will give me the row position. Okay. So the same way I have to get even the column position. Comma. Match. What are you matching in the column? Test. Where is the values? The values are present here. Okay. So how you want to match? Look for the exact match. That's it. Okay. So when I just change this, yeah, respectively, it is changed. David Smith has got only this value. Okay, fine. Sure. Hey, see now, we'll do one thing. We'll do all those things with the help of a table. That makes it busy, easy, is it? Hey, when you're writing the same formula with the table, it becomes more easy to work, is it? So let us convert this to the tables and we'll try to write this particular formulas. Let us do that. Okay. I just have this particular employees table here. Okay, I just convert this to data to the table. I'll just take it in the separate sheet kind of thing. Let me do it over here. Okay. Let me remove all the formatting features, not full. I want automatic, no bold, nothing. Okay, so no borders, good, everything normal. So now, when you're writing this particular data, okay, yeah, fine. So we just have this particular department. So I'll try to add a department here. So let me keep it somewhere here. So I'm just having this data, guys. That's it. I'm just doing that cut, copy, paste, nothing else. Okay. Now, see, when you're writing the formula, I always prefer use a table and then write the formula. Okay. So how do we convert this to a table? I'll just select this particular data. I'll just go to the insert tab and there we have a table. Just hit on the table. Okay. It gets selected and my table has a header. I say, okay. So you can see the whole data gets converted to a table. Okay. How do we know that it is a table? How do we know that it is a table? Okay. So how do you know that it is a table? So you can see here, there is one tab here called as table design. This clearly says, yeah, it is a table. The next thing here is, okay, the table is being given with the name as a table 4. Since this is the table containing about my employee details, so I'll just give a name of this as EMP employees. That's it. I'll just say as EMP employees table. Cool. Next, what I want here is, what is the advantage of this one is, now we'll try to do the same thing with the help of XLOOKUP. The search, no, I'll try to do with the help of the XLOOKUP. Okay, XLOOKUP. Now, how do we do the XLOOKUP here is, suppose take an example. See, one thing, what happens is somebody asked me a question. In the case of VLOOKUP, your lookup value always has to be the first column of the table array. Okay. If you're using the second column of the table array, in that case, your table reference has to be changed. We should not consider the first column as the table array. Okay. When you're searching. Okay. That is one thing. Second thing is we can always search from left to right. So based on the employee ID, you can get to know what is the salary or the name and things, but you cannot get based on the name. Getting employee ID was not possible. In the case of a VLOOKUP, you have to interchange the columns. Okay. Or you have to use a nesting of functions. But in the case of XLOOKUP, all those things are possible. Okay, fine. So let us see with some examples one by one. Okay, so now first thing is what I want to do is, so based on the employee name, based on the name of the employee, I just want to get what is the employee ID. I want to know what is the employee ID. Okay, so this is the name of the employee. And based on the name of the employee, I just want to get the employee ID. I just want to get the employee ID. So what is that I do? So I'll use this particular XLOOKUP. So when you look into this particular XLOOKUP, XLOOKUP has 6 parameters. In the case of VLOOKUP, we had 4 parameters. So XLOOKUP has 6 parameters. That means more functionalities. That means more functionalities. When I say more functionalities, obviously it is going to be difficult, but nothing to be worried. So it has 6 parameters. There is the lookup value is first parameter, lookup array is the second parameter, return array is the third parameter. And fourth parameter is if not found, match mode and the search mode. Now, when you look into this one here, it has 6 parameters, but even though it has 6 parameter, but only 3 parameter is the mandatory parameter and the remaining 3 is optional parameter, is not mandatory. Okay, so we can just do only with the 3 parameters. So in the case of VLOOKUP, you have to pass all the 4 parameters. No, here they have simplified it. So we'll just try to write this particular things. Okay, so we'll see this parameters. Okay, thing. Might be I have to be a little fast here because it is almost 3:45, guys. Okay, we hardly have 15 minutes time, so it is just a kind of a webinar. So there is a reason I'm not able to look into your chat and things, but generally I prefer having a two-way sessions and things. Okay, that is interactive sessions. But since it is a webinar, so I'll not be able to take up your questions. Okay, let me see in the end. I'll take up your questions. Okay, so let's just give me some time. See, in this first parameter is the lookup array. What are you looking? I'm looking for this. The second parameter is, okay, lookup value. What are you looking? I'm looking for this name. Now, lookup array. Where are you going to look for this? I'm going to look for this in the column C. Come on. The third parameter is return array. See, we don't have a table here. We don't have a table array. We don't have a column index. So we just say lookup array and the return array. So that means look for this particular names in the C column and return the value from the B column. That's it. Lookup array is C, return array is B. That's it. Very easy compared to VLOOKUP. This is very, 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 very easy. Is it? So it is only 3 parameter. So what is the value that you're looking for? And where are you going to look for this? And what is that you're going to return? Okay. So we're looking in the name and returning the employee ID. Clear? Easy? Okay. Two same name, how formula will work? What two same name? I think I have to do later. What two same names? Okay, if two peoples with the same name, fine. So there is a different, like, we have an index function, we have a match functions, we have the search directions, we have a lot of functions. So a lot of answers can be answered, but we have to use a combination of functions. Okay, fine. So the next thing is, I want to return, if I provide an employee ID, I want to return the complete details of the employee. I want to return the complete details. Like say, example, if I provide an employee ID as E057 or something, so it has to return the complete details, complete record I want to return. Okay, so let me take this employee ID. If I just give the employee ID as E005, I want to return the complete details of the employee. I want to return the complete details of the employee based on the employee ID. So what I do, I'll just say is equal to lookup value is this. We are looking for this one. Now, where are you going to look for this? I'm going to look for this in this particular, in this table, I'm looking in the employee ID. Okay, that is my lookup. Sorry. First is your lookup value. Lookup value, I'm looking for E005, which is referring to this cell, comma. It is not V, it is XLOOKUP, sorry, is equal to XLOOKUP. First is the lookup value. I'm looking for this. Okay. Now we have a lookup array. Where are you going to look for this one? I'm going to look in the employee ID of the table EMP. See, when I'm referring to the tables, we refer like this, the table name and in the bracket refer to the column name. It is referring to the employee ID. Okay. And what is that you want to return? Suppose if you want to return the name, so I can just select the name here, employee name column. Okay. So this will just return the name of the employee. Fine. But I say, no, I want to return everything. So in that case, what you do, don't refer to any column, just refer to the table name. EMP is the name of the table. So when you refer to the table name, you can see the whole table record is being returned. Okay. When I say E005, so E005 is nothing but Eric Hoffman, is the gender is male, and all the details of his, we are able to get it. So if I say E053, or we don't have an employee with that name number, E057, we have it. Yes. Dorothy Williams, Wilson, female, senior, health, all those data we are able to return. Okay. So we can do that way. So we can even return like 2 or 3 columns also, we can return it. Okay. Second or third column and things we can do it. Now, I want to transpose this. So I generally want to write the data like this, not in this way. Not in this way, but I want to write like this. So in that case, what I do, I can transpose this data. Just before this function, use a transpose. Transpose, open the bracket, press enter. That's it. So you can see this data has been transposed here. Okay. So if I just give any employee details here, so 640 is 640. Okay, it's Jennifer Jones as the data analyst here. This is the data of this. Okay, so I say 260 something. Yep, you're able to get the details here. Fine. Or we are able to get the complete data also. We can even go with the selected columns also. Okay, fine. This is there. Now the next thing is I just want to return. Okay, let us go with salary or something. Okay, I'll just keep it aside. Yeah, I'll just keep it in this. So now, so let us take an example. I just want to return the salary column. So based on the employee ID, I want to return the salary. Or based on the name, I want to return the salary. Okay. I don't want to be always the first column. So might be Dhruti, that is what is the name is the second column. Based on the name, I want to return the salary. Okay. So in this case, what I do, I'll just say is equal to X look. Lookup value is what I'm looking for the name. Where are you looking for the name? In this particular table. That is the EMP employee name of this table. And what is that you want to return? I want to return the salary column from the EMP table. That's it. 3 parameters. Problem is solved. You can see Dhruti Wilson is 7,000 is the salary. Yes, 7,700 is the salary. You just change it. 403. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. When you just take this particular name, what is this employee ID? See, we are able to search in both the directions, is it? So this is like, Jennifer Jones, where it is like, a thing. Yeah. So you can see we are able to get the employee ID as well as you are able to get the salary. You can see employee ID is 640 and the salary is 2800. Cool. We are able to get both the values, both the directions. This is really amazing. No, other main thing is, see, I did not use the counting here. I did not say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I did not do that. And second thing is, since I'm not doing that, okay, no requirement of a match function. So, VLOOKUP was the easy thing. Okay, VLOOKUP was the easy thing. When I just added a match function inside the VLOOKUP, the complication started. So when I have to use if NA inside that, the complication started. Index function is also one of the very easy function. And people started asking me, how did you write the nested functions? So the problem starts is when you start nesting, when you use multiple function inside a function inside a function. But to answer the real-time problems, yeah, obviously B is needed. Okay, now in the case of XLOOKUP, they have simplified it. So you don't have to use a table. So since you're not using the table, there is no count of the column index. You don't have to count. Since you're not counting, you don't have to use a match function. So when you use a match function, what was the advantage was you add some additional column. So the data was getting disturbed, but you can see it is not getting disturbed because you're not using the position. We are getting the name of the column. So looking at the name and returning the salary. Okay, obviously you add this column doesn't make your formula. It is, the formula doesn't get automatically. Reference will not change, is it? Okay, still it is working. So it is just looking for based on the names. So no need of using the match function at all here. Is that? That's really great. Okay, so that's the power of, I can say, your XLOOKUP. Okay. Hey, apart from that, see, most of the cases, what happens is here I have given a drop down list. Just imagine you don't have a drop down list and you have done a spelling mistake, like we're getting this hash in error. So to handle this hash any error, so it is something like, when I just give some number like this, you get a hash any error. That means this employee ID is not present over here. And to handle this, in the case of VLOOKUP, what we do is surround this. So around this particular function, we write a nesting, one more nesting here. Inside this function, I'll just say if any, if there is an any error, okay, I'll if any and the value, the complete formula we write, and at the end we just say, oh, invalid employee ID. So now what happens if it is the employee ID is not valid? It says invalid employee ID. If it is a valid employee ID, it just tells me the respective name. So now the problem here, what happens is we are able to solve this, but I have to see expert like me, we can easily do it. It doesn't make a much this one, but I have to write a function here and then the whole formula, and then I have to write the year. So nesting will always be a tedious work. Now, in the case of XLOOKUP, so if that is an situation, so no need to worry. So what you do is inside the function itself, okay, there is a first three parameters are mandatory. We can see the fourth parameter is if not found. Hey, if the name is not found, what is the message you want to pass? I just say it's a invalid name. That's it. Okay, name is not valid. So now I'll just remove the validation here. I'll just make it as any value. Now, if I just say, I'll just say, so I'll just give some wrong names. I'll give a spelling mistake. GHONS is not a correct name. You can see instead of showing this hash NA, it is showing as invalid. Okay, so that means it knows that, okay, the value that you're looking for, it is not available. But in the case of VLOOKUP, I have to write another nesting function and then I have to write this. But here, no need of nesting. So the fourth parameter says, oh, if it is invalid, okay, or input value, what you have given is not matching, what is the alternate value has to be written. As simple as that. Okay, so if it is fine, your output is also fine. If it is not found, instead of showing that kind of a error hash NA, so you can have an alternate message. For that, I don't have to further do a nesting of function. Okay, that is thing. How do you make a table? Select the data and the shortcut key is Control plus T, CTRL plus T. Control plus T, one shortcut key will convert the whole data into a table. Okay. But why in some Excels? XLOOKUP supports only in 365. XLOOKUP supports only in 365 and the higher version. So not in the older version of Excel doesn't support. Yes, Jivit. And hey, please learn, guys, in this thing. Okay. Anyway, it's a good question. So it is not supported in the older version of Excel. So only 365 and above version, latest versions kind of things. Thanks. Oh, match mode, search mode. Okay, fine. You want a match mode, search mode? Cool, no problem. Hey, now let us take an example here. So how do you go with the match mode? So many people were asking me when I was doing this particular VLOOKUP, sir, how do you go give an example for appropriate match? Okay, so I think it has been made much easier, more interesting in the case of a VLOOKUP. So let us do this. Let me just have the data in a separate sheet. I've just taken the same employees here. I just have taken the same employees. And now let us do one thing here is the employees have done some sales. Okay, they have done some sales. Let me have some sales number here. I just give some random numbers between say 100 to 100 into 100 or something. So I'm just giving some random numbers here. Okay, so I just have some sales value here. Now what I want is I want to give a bonus. I've decided to give the bonus. Okay. Um, but if I have decided to give the bonus, I have some kind of a plans. Okay. Like we generally give a bonus for the motivational purpose, but we have decided to give the bonus based on certain kind of a plans. So let us see how do we do that. So for bonus, so first is I'll take the sales value and the bonus percentage. I just want to give some percentage of the salary. Now I have decided the bonus is if the employee has done a sales of 3,000, I want to give a bonus of 5%. If an employee has done a sales of 5,000, I have decided to give a bonus of 10%. And if the employee has done a sales of say 8,000, so I have decided to give a bonus of 15%. And if an employee has done a sales of say 10,000, okay, I have decided to give a bonus of 20%. Okay. I love tables, guys. Please put it into a tables. See, tables is a new challenges, new way of writing the formula. Might be a slightly, it takes time to get adjust to that new style of writing. You have to learn those things, but it saves a lot of time, and not only a lot of time, it makes your formulas very dynamic. Okay. Further going, Excel will be more used with kind of a DAX functions rather than the normal range because it has a lot of dynamic functions, dynamic features, and so on. Okay. So fine. So let us go ahead. HLOOKUP is same like your VLOOKUP. Instead of column index, we give the row index, Rahul. And mainly like H people don't talk about the H lookups. We always look for the data vertically. Rarely, 99%, 99.99% of the time is we always store the data, what you say, in the row wise, and we look the data top down. Okay, that is the reason we has been always talked. If you want, I can give an example of that. But it is very same. It is one instead of column index is row index. Okay. Have you come across anywhere the data flowing in the transposed direction? Okay, if it is there, yeah, definitely I can give an example, no problem for that. Let me go ahead with this, Rahul. Can I get the permission? Okay. Now I'll just make a table of this one also. I'll just say, okay, control plus T. Okay, I'll just say this is my bonus table. Okay, and I'll just make this also as a table, control T, and I'll just give this is my EMP. I'll just say it's a table. M. Okay, fine. Sure. Now here I have decided like to give the bonus bonus. I've decided to give the bonus, but I have decided to give the bonus based on this particular plans. Okay. Insert go to function in Excel. What is go to functions? I'm not talking about go to functions. I don't know. Let me take the questions later. Okay. So now let us go with this particular bonus here. So if I have to talk about bonus, so what will I do? Yes. So see, this employee Raw Collins has done a sales of how much? 6,700. How much is the bonus we are supposed to give for him? How much is the bonus we are supposed to give him? He has achieved 3,000. He has achieved 5,000, but he has not achieved 8,000. So that means he should be eligible for 10%. Am I right? Yes. He is eligible for 10%. Yes. Okay. Now, when you talk about a 9,800, that means he has not touched 10,000. So it is 8,000 he has touched. So he's supposed to get 15%. So I have to do that same way. So when it comes to Karen, okay, 1,300 is not satisfying any of this. So 0. Okay, fine. So let us see how do we do that. Okay. Fine. I'll just go for this. I'll just say is equal to HLOOK. XLOOKUP. Now lookup value. What is that you're looking? I'm looking for this. Now lookup array. Where are you looking? I'm looking for this in the bonus table sales column. What is that you want to return? I want to return the bonus percentage from the bonus table. That's it. Now the challenge here comes is 6,700. None of the sales is matching to that. It is not matching. It is not matching. Okay. None of the values matching to that. No, 6,700 is not there. We have only 3,000, 5,000, 8,000, and 10,000. We don't have 6,700 here. Since we don't have 6,700, what will I do is I'll just put a comma. If it is not found, if the match is not found, I say 0. But when you look into that, almost every value will not be found except only 8,000. We have something and things. I think hardly, apart from that, nothing has been matching there. Okay. So in that case, what I do is I'll go with the fifth parameter. is the match mode, how you want to match. Hey, I want to look for exact match. See, by default, it is 0. 0 is nothing but exact match. What we were doing in the VLOOKUP, the same thing. Hey, but I want to look for the exact match or the next smaller item. Look for the exact 6,700. If it is exactly matching value, it is good. If it is not there, look for the next smaller items. Next smaller item to 6,700 is 5,000. So look for that. Okay. So what is that I need to do? I have to select this one, which is nothing but enumerated value as -1. Select this. Enter. You can see I can convert this to the percentage. And you can see Roy Collins is eligible for 10%, Nayan is eligible for 15%, Katrina is eligible for 5% only because less than 5,000. So you can see Karen, not even 3,000, 0%. Clear? So almost everybody are fine with this. That's it. Is that simple? So this is what is the appropriate match. So in the VLOOKUP, appropriate it looks for the closest, but here you can clearly define whether it has to look for the higher value or the smaller value. Okay, now what is happening is 6,700. So we don't have a match, but it is looking for a smaller value, 5,000, and give the pull that bonus. Now what I want is I want to give a higher slab. I want to give a higher slab. 6,700, he has crossed 5,000. So since he has crossed 5,000, if an employee has crossed 5,000, 5,000 and 5,001 to say 8,000, I want them to get us 15,000. 15%, sorry. 8,001 to 10,000, they should get 20%. I want to get the higher slabs. I want to get the higher slabs. Here you can see nobody is getting 20% because nobody has crossed 10,000, 10,000 or above. So only when you say 10,000 here. So if I just say this is 10,000, so then he'll be eligible for 20%. Okay, otherwise, they're not eligible. Now, what I want is if the employee has the salary, okay, or sales, anything, look for the higher value. That means if he has done 3,500, I don't want to give 5%, but I want to give 10% because he has exceeded 3,000. If the employee has done 5,000 and above 5,000, he has to get 15%. Okay, 5,000 he'll get this, but above 5,000 he has to get this one. Above 8,000 you want to get him. Above 10,000, so I want to give him as 25% or something. Okay, so something like this I just want to give. So in this case, what will I do? I'll just go to the same thing. I'll just write it once again. I'll try to give a higher slab value here. I'll just say is equal to XLOOK. Lookup value. What are you looking? I'm looking for this. Where are you looking? I'm looking for this in the sales column of the bonus table and return the bonus percentage of the bonus table. Fine, comma. If it is not found, I just don't want to do anything. But I say match mode, I'll just take the third option here. Exact match. See, last time I took next smaller item. Here I'll say exact match or the next larger item. Select this option. So you can see here, they are getting the higher slabs. Okay, fine. Already we have exceeded 4. Is it boring? Okay, this one about the wildcard character. I can just do that. Yeah. So let us go with the wildcard pattern match. Okay, so we'll go with the pattern match, the wildcard pattern match. Okay, so let me do this particular thing here. Now, wildcard is what? So you are looking at not the exact match, a kind of a matching based on the pattern. Okay, so in that case, we use the wildcard. Say example, I give an employee name. Okay, but I'll not give the full name. I'll just give the starting part of it. I'll just say Roy or I say Jennifer. I say JEN. When I say JEN, I want to know what is the sales he has done or what is the name and what is the sales the employee has done. I just want to get the data like that. Okay, might be I can do it over here. So if I just give that name, I just want to know what is the salary and things also can be done. Yeah, I think that should be good, is it? Or we can do it from here. I can do it here, is it? So I can do it in this. So let me do, yeah. I just have this particular employee name. and say I'm just not giving the full value here. I'm just giving only the part of the values. I'm just giving only the part of the values. And based on that, I want a match to be performed. Based on that, I want a match to be performed. So if I give this, it has to give the name, or I have to know what is the salary of this employee. Okay. So it has to search for it. Okay. So let us see how do we do that. So if this data is little confusing, so I can do here also. Okay. If it is name, I have to get the sales value. That's it. We'll keep it simple. So I just want to know what is the sales they have done. Is it? So I'll just go for this. I say is equal to XLOOK. See, first thing is lookup value. I'm looking for this. Okay, comma. Where are you looking? I'm looking for this in the EMP name of the stable EMP. And what is that you want to return? I want to return the sales value. It has to return the sales value. But now, if it is not there, what is the alternative? You can say if not found. If you want to skip that parameter, you just put a comma. Now in the search mode, we have something called as a wildcard. Wildcard means you're not giving a full data, you're giving a part of the data. I'll use a wildcard pattern match here. So wildcard pattern matches, you're giving a part of the data. So I'll just use the wildcard pattern match. But when I say wildcard pattern match, we are defining the pattern. So the data what you have given is only the starting of the data, but after JEN, it can have any length of characters. So I'm referring to this JEN over here, M3, I'm referring here. So what I will do is next to this, I'll just use the ampersand. Ampersand is and, open the double quotes and put an asterisk here. So it is looking for the wildcard. Okay, okay, okay. It has to return the sales score. It is returning. So when I say JEN, JEN is what? Jennifer. So you can see it is looking for, where is Jennifer? Yes, 8,800. Okay. So if I just say KAT, we can see it is 4,200. It is looking for Katrina. If you want to get the name also, we can do that. So you want to get the actual name, is it? So we can also do that. I'll just say is equal to XLOOK. I'm looking for this, but that is not the only data. So that will be concatenated with the asterisk. Means, okay, that is just only the start of the data, but it can contain some more characters next to that. Then lookup array. Where are you looking? I'm looking in the employee name. And what is that you want to return? I want to return what is the sales. Or I want to return the name itself here also. It has to look for the name, but it has to return the name only. And how it has to match? It has to look for the pattern match. Yeah. So KAT is referring to Katrina and this is the sales. So if I just say ER, so it says it is referring to Eric Huffman and his value is 8,100. Fine. Fine. So this is something like we can just do it with the help of this wildcard. So we can give even the start or mid characters, means like we can just go with in the starting also we can put a double quotes here, star and double quotes and ampersand. So M3 is there. Before that it can have any characters. After that it can have any characters. Okay. So let me do the same thing here. And what is the advantage of this is, okay. So now in this case, what happens, you don't have to write always the starting characters. So you can just write the HYFF. I know the name, something like it is Hoff. Okay, Steve Hoffman. See, this data is not the starting character, it is the mid character. So that means, okay, if in the name, if it contains HYFF, yeah, look for that and try to get what is the name and the sales. We can do it in this way. If the two peoples are with the same name, first match will be returned. First match will be returned. Okay, see, we also have the search direction. We can specify the search direction. So if you want, I can just show some examples of that. So I think 60 minutes is too less. I'll just take another 3-4 minutes, guys. I just have the names, just take an example. They have done some sales here or some kind of a transactions they have done. But, I'll just have this repeatedly. Okay. So, and I'll just try to have the sales values find here from here. I just have this data school. Okay. So now what I want is if I try to give a search, it has to return, but it has to return from, see, always it returns from the top. It always returns from the top, is it? So if I just say here, I just provide that this one, no? Hey, this automatically will take only the unique values. That is also one more great thing of 365. So now, when I just say this particular employee name, so if I just give this particular employee name, so what I want is, I just want it to return the sales value. And we know that it always returns the sales value from the beginning. Okay, fine. So now the next thing here is, okay, let us see. I hope I'm audible. Is it fine? Now, if I give this, it has to look. So how will you look for this? So if you have to get the sales, I just say is equal to X look. Okay. Lookup value is this. And lookup array is this B, and it has to return the sales. Fine. It is returning. And by default, it returns the first value. 9 is 9,000. Where is it? 9,800. It always returns the first match. Hey, no, no. If the values are repeated, I want to return the last match. I want to return the last match. In that case, what I do is, so we have this particular sixth parameter. If not found, I don't want. Search mode, I don't want. Sorry, match mode, search mode. By default, you can see the search mode is first to last, but we can change this to last to first. Okay, I'll just change this mode to last to first. That's it. And you can see here, 9 is going from the bottom. I say 7,000. Okay, so if I just give Katrina, it is showing the last transaction. So something like, people have paid the fees or installments or, yeah, EMIs and things. When was the last EMIs paid, or what was the last EMI paid? When was the last transaction done? I just want to see that particular data. Yeah, in that case, this will be useful. So where we can specify the search. Okay, fine. Yeah. So I know I'll try to come out with some videos in this one in my channel, but otherwise, I know as time is very insufficient. Okay, I think so. XLOOKUP itself, it takes almost more than 2 hours if I go into deep of that. So every parameters and things, but XLOOKUP is very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. Hash spill comes in the this one, no, filter functions. So we can just take care of those particular things. Not in the VLOOKUP hash will Lohit. It comes in the filter. So we have an option of taking care of that, but I can do later. That is upskill with Sadik. Which above version of Excel lookup works. See, Excel lookup works in 365. It works in 365. Upskill with Sadik. It doesn't work in the other version. See, I'll tell you, Excel has lot of features in 365. Lot of functions which is not there with other version of Excel. Like filter function is there, X match and all these things, X match and things are there, and also text before delimit, text after. So we don't have to use a combination of many nesting functions and all these things. And not only that, these functions are more powerful, speed also, efficiency also. Like VLOOKUP, if you're working with the lakhs of rows of data, so even I have tested it, I'm just telling it. So if I have some 4, 5 lakhs rows of data, and if I use a VLOOKUP, it takes some minutes, 10, 15 minutes to execute that particular lookup operation. But if I do the same thing using XLOOKUP, that 15-minute job can be just done in 3 minutes or 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so it'll be more efficient. The way it works also is more efficient. So you'll get a better performance also compared to the VLOOKUP. So it's much faster and much easier and loaded with more features. So I can say that is what thing I can just say in short. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Any questions? I should take it up. Any specific questions are there? Go to function in Excel. I didn't get you. Chale not found. Chale, can you help? Chale. Yes, Tahir. Okay. Any questions are there? I can just take it up. I, I think that check support team should help you out. Uh, thank you for all those particular things. Okay, see you all. Hope we'll catch up in the next. Okay, the upskill, right? Naveen or who's there? We can conclude it. Yeah, thank you all, guys.